My name is Geiger, Thomas Geiger, and this is the most famous movie car of the world, James Bond's Aston Martin DB5. Here on Thomas Geiger Car, you'll get the first insight in a continuation model of the 1964 car, built in 2020, because the British sports car manufacturer decided to build 25 vehicles with the exact specifications of the time ago, just with modern quality, modern craftsmanship, and with all the gadgets from Hollywood. And before this car vanishes into an air-conditioned collection of a car enthusiast, we'll have the rare opportunity to take a closer look and to even drive. So if you want to know how James Bond would have felt once he drove this car through the British countryside, join me on my first ride here at Thomas Geiger Car. Just take a look, Mr. Bond. It's not only you driving the DB5 Goldfinger car. If you spend almost 4 million euros, you can have that pleasure on your own. And it's pretty easy to drive that car, because even if the technique is antique, it is up to date and state of the art. Aston Martin has done a tremendous job to rebuild the vehicle, has enforced it just a tiny bit to make the drive a bit more easy and safe. So especially the brakes and the suspension are tuned and modernized a little bit. Talking about the engine, it is still the 4-liter inline 6-cylinder engine, delivering roughly 286 horsepower, and if you're brave enough, you can go from 0 to 100 in around 7 seconds. And you can go to a top speed of 240 kilometers per hour if you dare to set a car of 4 million euros at such a risk. It took them 4,500 hours to build one of each cars, because it's a giant jigsaw puzzle with handcrafted parts only. And it was not only difficult to get the gadgets going, which was supported by the movie production company Eon. No, also driving components, the engine, and even the color was difficult to replicate. So they had quite a bit of work to do and quite a bit of sweat to produce until the DB5 got running. Now they just have to sell it, which is obviously harder than thought. For sure, there are lots of collectors and wealthy people that want to own one of these giant toys, but not all cars are sold yet. If you really seriously want one, there are 1 or 2 left for your choice. The longer you drive the vehicle, the more confident you get and the more curious, because once driving is not a task anymore, you begin to look around and peek underneath the one or the other console, and you'll realize all the gadgets that Quartermaster Q has built for Special Agent Bond. You got all the stuff like the revolving license plates, the machine gun in the front, the bulletproof shield in the back, and even an ancient auto telephone. But all that's what we're gonna take a look for once the car is parked back in the factory. Once you look around in the interior of the DB5, you don't only see a beautiful dashboard and a cockpit like in a classic sports car, as the DB5 is one. No, the closer you look, you realize all the movie gadgets are in the vehicle. If I open the center console, I have all the switches for the special gear built in by Q, for the guns, for the oil spray, for the smoke, for the bullet protected shield, and the glass in the back. I have the GPS navigation and location system, and I have the most spectacular button for the rocket seat on the passenger side. But even if the roof is cut out to shoot out your passenger, this is the only system not functional in the car. Better safe than sorrow. But since you miss that seat, you have something else even James Bond didn't have, because there is a remote control hidden in the center console. So if you sit with your friends in the garage and want to show off with your fancy car, you don't have to crawl behind the steering wheel. You just open the remote and can play with all the gadgets while looking at the car from the outside. Something we're gonna do in a minute. Same as the movie car, the continuation cars have all the gadgets that Quartermaster Q built in for James Bond. So we have the revolving license plates, and we even have the machine guns with a design that we know from Spectre and the sound that is originally from the Goldfinger movie. Once you press the button, the guns come out and you're free to go a bit faster. Thanks for joining me on that first and unique drive of the Aston Martin DB5 Goldfinger Continuation. A real unique experience that I will never have again, because only 25 cars will be built and they will all be stored in collectors' garages, well air-conditioned, on red carpet. And it is a pretty expensive price tag stick to that vehicle. 4,500 hours of work and up to 4 million euros. But if you consider the price of the original movie car that was sold on an auction for more than twice the money, it's quite a bargain and lots of fun.